to very quickly do a quick rant about language and its materiality. I've noticed that, especially lately, a lot of people seem to be under the impression that language is like this immaterial thing that doesn't really have an impact on material conditions. And just want to say, like, language is not some sort of immaterial, intangible. It's not even intangible. Like, people have that opinion, but I'll explain why that's not true in a second. It's not some immaterial, intangible thing. It's not like some cloud from which you pull words and ideas from. Language is not that. Language is a series of embodied processes and practices. When you speak, Karl Marx says, speech is literally agitated air. Like, your lips are moving, your body is making an action. Language is always an action, but the embodied action of speaking is probably like the best example I can give. Inscription, the action of inscribing something on paper, is an action. It's a material practice, and language has a material presence in the world, even if it's just agitated air that makes specific sounds, or if it's just marks on a paper. Ideas and thoughts themselves are material practices and processes. They are impulses that move through your brain. They are neurological processes. These things are material processes, right? So you have this problem of people thinking that language doesn't have an effect on reality, or thinking that language is immaterial. And the epitome of that is, everybody's probably had that moment in the schoolyard, right, where they face someone who calls them a bad name, or worse, if they're bullied by people who prefer to bully through using language and not through action. Teacher, parent, somebody comes up to you and they say, "Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you." And you're like, okay, you take it. You're like, maybe, okay. So basically you're saying don't hit people because they call me, a bad name. That's fine. I can take that. Language doesn't do anything. The problem is that very act of saying sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me is paradoxical, right? When you say that, what are you doing? You're using language. You're using the words that indicate that words have no power, but you're using those words to effect a change in the person that you tell them to. The words have an effect, and the effect is making people believe that words don't have an effect. That's complicated, right? It doesn't make any sense, but I believed it when I was a kid. Loads of kids believe it when they were kids, and people seem to have that impression even now, but it's not true. Sticks and stones can break your bones. Yeah, it hurts like hell if you get hit by a stick or a stone, whatever. You get a concussion if something falls on your head, but words can hurt as well. There's a whole area, the whole idea of discourse it revolves around how material practices of language influence the way that we live. For one thing, everyone is influenced in some degree, to a large degree, actually. That was an understatement. Everyone's lives are influenced to a large degree by discourse, material practices of language.